And on Legionaruta here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our Daily Gaming XP Grind, episode 61. And just a quick XP update for those of you who haven't got to watch any of my recent videos. 296,475 attack XP, woodcutting sitting at 1 million XP, construction 2,009,000 XP, runecrafting 519,000 XP, magic 81,000, mining 4,061,000, artisan 4,094,000, and cooking sitting at 220,000. So we've got quite a bit of different things. They're a little bit disorganized. We haven't really been doing a lot behind the scenes. But instead of actually going and organizing those on camera, I think that's sort of a bit of a waste of time. What we are going to be doing is killing a lot of sheep and rams. And the reason is we're trying to get meat so that we can level up our cooking. And it's unfortunate how long it takes. I talk about this quite a bit. But ultimately, cooking is just absurd. And hopefully in the future, they sort of... Obviously, I've talked about this as well. It's not going to be faster because it's going to be a little bit more difficult to kill the creatures that are going to be giving different resources that you can actually get more cooking XP. But hopefully, for that extra effort, you're going to be able to get a lot more XP in cooking for cooking different dishes that are going to be made with the new materials that are dropped off new creatures. So really, all that we've got going on is we're currently just waiting for the game to come out with new things. Really just range, right? I don't think that they're going to be introducing a lot of other things into the game on September 9th. Obviously, yes, there will be different things that they're going to be giving us, but I don't necessarily think that those things are going to correlate to new creatures. But then again, it's really up in the air currently, and I'm not 100% sure. But based on the information that's sort of just going around, I don't really think that's the plan. I think they're trying to really push their efforts into Fellhollow and trying to give us the ultimate experience when that comes to the game. So I don't really think they're going to go backwards. I think they're obviously looking at tuning up different things in the game. But for the most part, I really think that they're going to be focusing on Fellhollow and obviously just getting range going into the game. And then 3 months after that or so, we're going to be getting the... obviously, we're going to get range on September 9th. And then in December, I don't believe they've given an exact date, but ultimately, we should see some improvements to different skills, also with the new skill of farming. So, but I think ultimately, some of the big things that we can expect probably with farming are, I'm thinking the XP cap, or level cap, I should say, will be raised. So we're really looking forward to that, and I think that's going to be a big part of Fellhollow. Is just sort of raising the level for all skills. So it's going to be quite exciting. I'm not sure, but I believe that they're only going to go 10 levels. And the reason I think this is because all you have to do is, I mean, basically every 3 months after, they're going to be introducing new skills to the game, as well as new content. So I think it would make the most sense to not necessarily give us a ridiculous amount of a raise in levels right off the gate when we know that they're going to be giving us new content every 3 months. So I think they're going to want to space that out, which I think is the thing that makes the most sense. So it's just really going to be about waiting for that, and then that will really help us out a great deal. So that way we can actually start to really see all this hard work that we've been putting in, not just show up on a screen as numbers, but more so new abilities that we can do and sort of unlock all these really cool things, which I think will make the game a lot more interesting. Obviously, the game isn't very early development, and there's just so much that they can build on with what they've currently got in the game. So these are all just things to get really excited about. And if you're wondering why I'm running around and collecting these dwellberries, it's because this area is loaded with them, and obviously we can use these for cooking. So I think it's going to be really important to sort of grab these. And they're like little big chunks here, so this is going to be not great XP, because what is great XP in cooking? I don't believe that there really is. This is really interesting here. I don't think I've ever seen wolves in this area before, so that's quite interesting. We are sort of focusing on magic a little bit today. Normally, we might go the attack route, but I feel like we've been sort of neglecting magic for quite some time, and I wanted to sort of take some time and do this. So, and if you're kind of wondering, the very next episode is probably going to be cooking. I hope we didn't die here. That was kind of a mistake to even attack that. But yes, so cooking will be the next thing that we focus on in our next episode. Obviously, it doesn't take the entire time of the video, but what we'd like to do is sort of get everything inside the crafting stations, and then from there, we will just probably go do something else in a game. Obviously, we tried to sort of gauge what we were doing and how long it was going to take, and then leave certain things so that way we still had things that we could work on in these videos. You can see these huge stacks of rune essence, and that's another thing that we're going to be doing in the future, is we're going to be essentially putting a lot of time into working on... sorry, I just wanted to make sure that that giant Garu beast wasn't over there. I thought he might have been in the bushes. But what we'd like to do is focus heavily on rune crafting, and that's why anytime that those are up, we're actually taking the route and taking care of it, and ultimately that's going to be a ridiculous amount of rune crafting XP once we do it. I think I want to just keep going. It's hard. I get excited. I see these gigantic massive piles, and then I sort of just get eager to get to work. But obviously it's important to be patient. It's dark, so I'm going to want to actually probably leave here and come back in the daytime, as nighttime's not a great time to be out here, and it's just not good. I'm hoping I don't die in this video, but we'll wait and see what happens. But nighttime's just not a good time to be out here. That's just straightforward. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our base and go to sleep, and then come back. I don't really collect swamp tar anymore, because I'm not really... Whoa, excuse me. But ultimately, I don't really collect swamp tar like I used to, and the reason for that is I'm not really making armor like I was. At some point, I might jump back to that, but I feel like my time would be better spent sort of just getting resources to get this XP and these skills. I think that's the thing that makes the most sense. It's so cool how many of these sort of spawn together. I think it makes it great for a lot of reasons. Obviously, with the fact that it's just ridiculous cooking XP, it's kind of nice that these are all bunched together like this. I do wish we got more cooking XP. There's not much I can do about that, though. Just sort of got to go with it, roll with it. But ultimately, you can see here lots of different things. What is this? I don't think these are even food, are they? They are. I was hoping it wasn't some sort of rock. I don't want to collect any more rock. We've got so much, it's ridiculous. A little feisty little ram. But ultimately, this is pretty much what it's going to look like if you're trying to grind out cooking XP in a game, and you don't really want to put the game down and wait for Fell or range. I think that's the interesting thing. The way they've sort of done it in a game is they obviously took forever to give us Fell Hollow and even new skills. So it's interesting to me because I feel like people potentially have put the game down and will return when new things come to the game, and there's really nothing wrong with it. I guess it's just unfortunate that that's how they sort of, like, obviously it's in early access, so it's expected, and I think that's just something that's going to happen. But I feel like a lot of people, they ran out of things to do in the game, and I think it really sort of pushed people away. I thought I went to sleep. It shouldn't even be nighttime right here. Did I make a mistake? I was laying in the bed. I don't understand. There we go. So now it's nighttime's over. I notice I really don't have to actually sleep all that much anymore. It used to be something quite a bit of a pain, but I notice I know they've been improving on things quite a bit in recent weeks, and so it looks like potentially that's something that they've actually done, is sort of make it a little bit easier and you don't have to sleep as much. So let's go ahead and see if we can find any more sheep and ram. We've got these. We got to get these really quick because these are not on the same sync as the other ones that we do, so these sort of just fall at a different time. Oh, that's great. We've got a Garu hunter and he already got us. So now we're going to have to try to kill him, but we're going to die here from lightning. I can't believe it. I didn't think I was going to die this time, but I did. Sure enough, lightning killed me. So I just don't understand. It's quite frustrating, really. Sometimes it just seems like our progression is just not fast enough. I mean, obviously we put incredible amounts of time into the game, but I just want more, and it's not happening. So ultimately, it just takes time. That's the one thing. You just got to keep putting time into the game. But yes, so next episode we'll be cooking, and then from there we will be working. It depends. I'm really trying to save rune crafting. I'd like to get just these ridiculous mountains before I really attempt to try to start collecting it. I'd like to see 3 times what's on the ground currently, which is just a ridiculous amount. And then obviously I'm going to have to make runes. I really thought when Magic came out, they were going to add a couple more spells, but then obviously they didn't raise the cap for the skill. So it sort of does make sense that there's not new runes, because you can't give us everything at level 50. I think that would actually be a little bit ridiculous. I think it would sort of run us into the same problem that we've been kind of facing, which is content not being enough and sort of just being at a plateau where you can't really do anything new in a game and you're sort of bored. So I think if they were to have just given us everything out the gate and then just give us new content here and there, I don't think that would have been the way to go. I think they actually approached it the right way. And with it just being an early access, I think there's lots of time to sort of improve and build on the game. But I'm not quite sure, really, what I should be doing. I think I'm doing the best I can do. And I think it's just, like I said, it's going to take time. And obviously, my own character progression and development, I think that it's just unfortunate because obviously you can never have enough food, apparently, even though I've almost got 2 of the gigantic chests full of meat and full of food. So I think it's just going to take time. That's pretty much it. And obviously, once new monsters come to the game, they give a lot more XP in regards to cooking and attack and things like that. Then we'll be able to further progress a lot faster. But obviously that's not quite here yet, so we just got to just take it slow, and that's all we can really do. But whew, it's crazy. We're already on episode 61, and I think that overall it's just, I don't know. I obviously worked on different skills in a certain pattern, and one of my big things is I didn't want to leave it to where I didn't really have a lot to work on if I was to sort of progress too far in a skill. And I think that sort of happened, but not on purpose. I think it just sort of worked out that way. But now we don't have a lot. We got a lot of attack skills and things like that. But I mean, like, obviously rune crafting, I'd like to see it get to 1 million. Will it get to 1 million before Valhalla? I really don't think so, but then again, you never really know. We've got quite a bit of episodes before then, so I think it actually could happen. 1 million rune crafting XP. I would actually be incredibly happy with 1 million rune crafting XP. Obviously, I'll get XP throughout time. The only really tough part is once I go collect all this rune essence, then I won't have any rune essence. And once new runes come to the game, I won't be able to really make them, and I'll have to go make just large trips to get more rune essence to make those new runes. So I think that's a little bit unfortunate. But I think for the most part, we're on track. We're doing quite well. And, you know, as I always say, hopefully you guys are enjoying your time in RuneScape Dragonwilds. Obviously, the game's still in the development, and I think that there's still so much potential for the game, and I still think there's a lot of enjoyable and exciting things to do currently in the game. Grinding is one of those things where you either love it or you don't, and that's pretty much it. I don't really think there's an in-between. I think once you understand what grinding really consists of, it's not for everyone, that's for sure. So if you guys are trying to go for something like a road to max, or at least set yourselves up so that way you guys can experience and enjoy all the new content when it comes to the game, just keep the course. Don't give up. I think that's the biggest thing. It's easy to give up and sort of just get frustrated with how long things are taking. Just try not to get stuck in a rut and keep pushing forward, as I feel like that's the only real way you can go and ultimately get where you want to be. And that's pretty much anything in life. So I don't really think it just pertains to this game. But let's go ahead and see. So we did get this kill. So we are going to go back to our base, probably hang around a little bit and organize. And then we are probably going to call it, but we're getting attacked right now. I know that for a fact. Oh, wow, he never made it to us. That's kind of interesting. So let's go ahead, go inside of our chest. I believe we have one that's for food. We used to, but unfortunately, we always are disorganized. It's something I cannot escape. It's literally the story for me, and I really don't like it. It's really unfortunate. But what I want to do is try to move this chest. It doesn't matter how many chests I have, to be quite honest with you. I think what really it comes down to is just I'm disorganized. I don't think there's ever going to be a time when I'm not. And I think that the more things come out in the game, the worse it's going to get. The more disorganized I'm going to be. So I don't think it's ever going to quite get better. I think it's going to get a lot worse. I guess that's okay, though. I guess I sort of just have to accept that. And just sort of go with it. So you can't fight it, because obviously I can't change it. So I think it sort of happens when you have this many different items in a game, though. So I think it's actually quite expected. Let's go ahead and put some food and a little bit of water in my inventory, because obviously those are good things to have. But we've got quite a bit. It's actually crazy what we do have in here. I'm just trying to grab the least stacks. You don't want too much extra junk just lying around. What I'm just trying to do really quick is just organize a little bit, grab different things that I might be able to use to cook for the next episode. I had a little bit of potatoes, 6 potatoes, depressing, it's not enough. So let's go ahead and see. So I think for the most part, most of it must be over here. It just takes a considerable amount of time. That's kind of nice. 83 of the bitter cut mushrooms. What's that? Another potato, some more of these. So I'm just trying to make sure I grab all the meat. And it looks like another bitter cut mushroom and an onion. That looks like that was the chest for our food. We got 2 more potatoes. And we've got a little bit more, actually, inside here. It's going to be really interesting to see how much food and things like that and leather we have when we're all done here. It's going to be quite crazy. So we don't really have anywhere we could put a lot of this stuff. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to go over just a quick XP update with what we worked on. I don't think we worked on attack, but it's got 296,000. We worked on magic for sure. So 83,202. And I think that's all we really touched. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming along with us and watching our daily gaming XP grind. And next time we're going to be working on cooking. So until next time, Legion Luda out.